Yes?
Hi, how are you?
Hello there.
Sheriff?
Yes, Lily, what is it?
I don't know what to do.
What are you talking about, Lily?
Oh God, Sheriff, I need your help. I lied to you, and I asked Luna to lie, and then Ozzy. I did something, and...
Calm down, Lily. It's okay. I think I know what this is about.
But I...
Sit down and take some deep breaths.
Uh-huh. Okay. Sheriff, I have something I need to tell you.
First, did anyone hurt you?
No, it's worse than that. Much worse.
This is about the synth hunter contracts you two did a poor job of hiding from me, isn't it?
Oh God, Sheriff. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You knew the whole time, didn't you? How?
Maybe when Delano told me your friend showed up only the next day wanting to take the job I wouldn't give to you. Or maybe when Luna handed me the bag of railroad holotapes and told me everything about how you took the job and wanted her to lie to me about it.
I see. I'm so stupid. And I killed this synth and he...
Take a deep breath. Say it slow.
He had... Oh God. I'm a monster. His family has nobody now, and I can't take it back.
We can't take anything back in this business.
You knew this was gonna happen, didn't you?
Delano asked me what I wanted her to do about it. I told her that you needed to learn on your own. Just keep you away from the Institute. I knew when I wasn't going to be able to stop you. I'd hoped you'd stop yourself.
But I didn't. I killed him. And then his wife came for his body and his kids. Oh, God.
Oh, my little Lily. You did a lot of growing up today, didn't you? My tough little girl. You've come a long way from the kid that used to follow me around Diamond City and copy everything I did. There's more jobs to run, but you're not running them anymore, are you?
No. Never again. I hate the Institute. But this? I can't do this.
So, before I say anything, remember that you did indeed stop yourself, like I hoped you would.
But it's already done. I can't take it back. I can't take any of them back.
You're right. Raiders and Gunners, Super Mutants, the Coursers, and ones that know what they are. Those bodies aren't so hard to step over.
I know you've done it before, Sheriff. Everyone hears the stories about what happens to meat wagons you catch in the Fens they're never seen again. How do you go on? How do you do it when they're begging?
Nobody ever sees them again, because we bring them to the edge of the Commonwealth with supplies, and tell them if we see them again, we'll shoot them.
Wait. You mean... you don't kill them?
No, we send them north. Merchants say there's a town and culture up there much less hostile to synths. And without the Institute there to make more synths and kill more humans, the synths cease to be a threat.
But everyone says you pop them in the back of the head.
That's what we let everyone think. Reputation and psyops are essential to an organization as small as ours. I trust you'll keep our secret.
You really shoot them if they come back?
Some are willing Institute operatives, fully aware of what they're serving, but none have returned so far. If we know about them, it's because they've been betrayed by somebody close to them. Would you feel safe returning to that?
The guy by Bunker Hill?
Was an Institute informant, no matter what he said. Not everyone is as bad at lying as you, Lily. Crenshaw caught him dealing with a courser, dead to rights.
But how do you...
The Brotherhood inures their cadets to violence as part of the curriculum. I had killed my first captive raider by 7. They put him in a cage and made me shoot him while he begged for his life. He didn't deserve to live, but no child deserves to be made to kill. That was only the first class of the semester that year. Scar tissue. That's what my mentor in the Brotherhood called it. When you wound your soul, it heals with scar tissue like any other part of you. Harder, rigid, more resistant to damage. He believed the Brotherhood's scar tissue was keeping it from recognizing the pain of the capital's people. That we had seen so much violence, done so much looting and sometimes killing, that we saw nothing wrong with the people's suffering. We didn't see how they could possibly be of use, so we discarded them and turned a deaf ear to their pain. He worked very hard to change that, but his ideology was ultimately pushed aside for a more selfish one.
So you saying I have to get used to it?
I'm saying the opposite, Lily. Getting used to it is not something you ever want. This thing you came to me for, how to not feel this guilt? There's no magic fix. There's no fix at all. And it's not a place I want you to be. It would be worse if you didn't feel anything. I would have failed you. You would be like me, or the lieutenants, or Oaks. Those tears on your face right now, they mean you aren't a monster. It's not too late.
You really think so?
I know so, Lily. You don't want to hear it. But part of what you might need is going back to face that family. To tell them the entire truth.
I know. I want to. I will. Make me feel better. Even if it made me feel worse. If that makes any sense.
It makes perfect sense, Lily.
Sheriff? What did you mean by you would be failing me?
Look, when you're born into the Brotherhood, there's certain things that are decided for you. Things you don't get a say in. And one of the things that was decided for me is... well, I wanted a... It's complicated, Lily. I didn't get to...
It's okay, Sheriff. Crenshaw told me the other day. Is it true? Just tell me that.
Yes, Lily, it's true. I consider you my... Excuse me. This is very difficult for me, Lily.
I hoped it was. So much. I love you too, Sheriff. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to say it back. I feel the same way. I know now. I know. I've been wanting to say something else, Sheriff.
What is it?
You remember, that day I brought Luna and McGilly here.
How could I forget? I hadn't seen you in months and months. Then you came into the Yellow Zone in your own T-60. You were maybe 14 years old at most. Spears told me later you had to tie blocks to your feet so you could stand in the power armor frame. You were still very angry at me for not deputizing you and Zeke. You told me to burn in hell, among other anatomically difficult things. You wanted to hurt me that day with your words. They did, Lily. I thought I had lost you for good.
I didn't mean any of it. I cried all the way back to the Atom Cats. I'm so sorry I said that to you. I didn't want to leave, but I get so mad.
I wish you had stayed too. We would have had 2 more years together. But we are both stubborn. All we have is now. Will you be okay?
No. Yes. I think so. I don't know. This is one of the worst days of my life, and now it's one of the best. But they're both still with me. I don't know how to feel. I think I'll just cry myself to sleep tonight.
Maybe that's what you need. Why don't you come find me later when you're alone? We can have a couple of shots. We've got a lot to talk about.
Okay, I will. Thank you, Sheriff, for everything. No more synth hunting. I can't do it anymore. I appreciate you helping me, but it's more than I can handle. we'll have to find another way to help. But first, there's something I need to take care of at the Atom Cat garage. You'll see when we get there.
Gunners from Quincy are always coming in here trying to get their mitts on our suits. I keep trying to tell Zeke, we just need to go in there and take them all out. Bunch of
Good.
knuckleheads.
I was hoping they didn't have a chance to throw her out to feed the Mirelurks yet. I haven't told anyone what really happened the night I was kidnapped. Not the entire story. I got to thinking when the sheriff was talking, I wanted to come back and put those markers back on the grave. I can't let it just be forgotten like this. Ah, home sweet other home. I miss partying with the Atom Cats sometimes. But I won't lie, the Bleachers really calls to me, if you know what I mean. Ah, home sweet other home. I miss partying with the Atom Cats sometimes. But I won't lie, the Bleachers really calls to me, if you know what I mean. Good. I was hoping they didn't have a chance to throw her out to feed the Mirelurks yet. I haven't told anyone what really happened the night I was kidnapped. Not the entire story. I got to thinking when the sheriff was talking, I wanted to come back and put those markers back on the grave. I can't let it just be forgotten like this.
Are you ready to tell somebody yet?
I guess so. After that thing I did, I owe it to her down there to tell somebody her story.
What really happened when they had you?
I don't like to think about it, but maybe it's time. You don't know what they did to her. I ain't told nobody yet, 'cause it's just so damn evil. It hurts to think about it. Makes me sick to my stomach. But I can't just let it die with me. Makes you wonder. We talk about how harsh this world is and rationalize how we can keep going in the face of this horror we were condemned to. I mean, I've dropped people who had it coming into meat grinders. Literally. I've always known what side of the line I was on. We get numb to the violence. And then something happens to snap you out of it. A new atrocity. And that's what this was. What they did to her. I thought nothing could faze me anymore. I just told everyone the Institute showed up with her. They kinda assumed she was on a cart or already dead. But she wasn't. They walked her in on her own 2 feet. She had my face, but she looked like she'd only had her eyes open for a few minutes. She was looking around at everything. Mouth open, amazed at this new thing called the world. Breathing and being alive. Pure as one of Bab's bees. I mean, Babs said she didn't have synth components, so I doubt she knew much of what was going on. They led her just like a lamb to the slaughter. They made me get undressed, then they put my clothes on her while she just silently stood there. Those raiders have been eyeing my scalp for years. And what they said they were gonna do to me then and there as they were looking at me like that? As if I needed a reason to hate them more after killing my parents? They were full-on planning to gang rape me. Those fucks. The courses said the scientists needed my mind intact and would kill anyone that touched me. Would you believe that? Saved from that. From what the Raiders do to people like me by a courser. But those assholes weren't done with my double, no. They had to make the murder look convincing. The courser told the Raiders to have their way with her and then beat her to death. And she just stood there. She didn't know any words. She had no idea what they were saying. What those bats and chains they were waving in her face meant. She was just fascinated by them. And those fucking animals, they just fell on her, hooting and hollering like the predators they are. There was nothing human in them. She had no idea. I saw the confusion in her eyes after the first blow, the pain after they... She had no idea what was happening. She screamed in pain, threw up her arms as they kicked and stomped her. They just poured it on, rib after broken rib. It was awful. Eventually, she wasn't screaming no more. She was coughing on her own blood. And then, she wasn't coughing or trying to protect herself after that. She was dying. She'd given up. They stopped, finally. The face covered in blood, flipped her over. She was only barely alive, and they drove that tie iron into her back. She looked right at me, damn it. She didn't know what was going on. Why it hurt so bad. I watched her eyes go dead. What was she, maybe 10 minutes old? Her entire 10-minute life, from start to finish, was the moldy basement of an old warehouse and horrible pain. Can't even begin to describe the fear and confusion in her eyes, like a child caught in the crossfire of a war. Taking their last breath. I must have had the same look in my face when those raiders jumped my parents and left me an orphan. But then that scaver I shot, I saw it in his eyes too. He didn't know what he was. He never had a chance against me or knew why he was dying, just that it was happening. And I'm the one who put it there. I'm no better than the raider who left an orphan now. And I hate myself for it. That's where all this got me.
What are you going to do now?
Well, I'm done being a synth hunter. That's for damn sure. Gotta go find what's left of that family and salvage what I can sometime soon. But the Institute? They do this every day, to countless people. There's gotta be something we can do. I just don't know what. I see now why the sheriff didn't want me near that stuff. But I've gotta push for something I can do to make a difference.
Hey girl, I didn't see you come in. How long you been here for?
Hey, sugar butt. I'm happier to see you than you know. Just got here. I was gonna come see you next. What's up?
Well, I hate to be the person who turns you right around, but Bob radioed a couple of hours ago looking for you. Must be where you were heading over. Seems there's been an emergency with the water supply. She needs to get you back over there right away.
The cistern? Shit. We better get the hell over there right away. You got your shit packed to move into the Bleachers yet?
I do, but we've been watching the gunners over at Quincy. They've been pretty busy lately. We radioed the sheriff to let her know. She asked us to keep her updated on him. This got Zeke pretty spooked. He's worried they might make a play for our power armor next. None of the gang knows Quincy like I do, so I volunteered to stick around there a couple more weeks. I can't leave the family hanging. You know that.
I do. Rizzo, I do. It's been a hell of a week. Make sure they're safe. Tell everyone I said hi, and I'll be back. I'll be back in a few days. Oh, and Rizzo. One other thing. Can you guys put the grave markers back up and leave her here? As a favor? For me?
Oh, sure, hon. Any reason for the change of heart? You were fit to dig it up yourself last time you was here.
It's kinda complicated. I'll tell you next time I see you. It's been a rough week. Just remember, I love you.
I love you too. You tell Bob to hold that spot in the greenhouse for our wedding. Be safe out there.
Hey, let's get on over to Diamond City. We ain't got no time to waste. This is about the cistern, It's gotta be an emergency.
Yes?
Yeah?
Huh?
Gary! The harbor is the only place with a genuine BDSM
bars.
orange
Hey.
in stock.
Hello, hello. What's all this then?
Let's get down to business.
You get right.
I don't need anything.
Thank you. Thank you very much indeed.
I'm glad you two are here. We don't have any time to waste.
Yeah, guys, this is some pretty serious shit we got going on here.
Hey, gang, what's up? Why are we down here? Something looks Oh my god. Babs! Where are all the roots?
They're dead, Lily. Let me explain.
Yeah, but what the hell happened?
Shut up, Lily. Let her explain.
Sorry.
Someone put herbicide in the cistern water.
How'd they do that?
The sheriff is going to explain that part. It's why we needed Lily for your part.
That's a bad thing, right?
Not as bad as it could have been, but still, very bad. Especially if we can't get this resolved in the next day or two.
There must be something we can do.
There is. We have a plan already. Others are out doing their parts right now, but we need Lily for something very specific.
What happens next?
Well, the greenhouse and the bleachers are safe. For now. The Vault Tech purifier detected it and immediately shut down the intake. Thankfully, not a single drop made it into the greenhouse. But the entire cistern is contaminated. I need to neutralize it with a treatment before we can turn the pumps back on.
You said it's safe for now. How long we got?
Not long at all. I've got enough water for the greenhouse and the tanks for 2 days. The rest of us immediately have to go into water rationing.
Just how much water we talking here, Bob?
No showers, food, or fabric operations. I mean, the water is safe for us and for fabrics. It's an herbicide, not a person-side. But the entire Bleachers water supply goes through the Vault-Tec purifier and into the same tanks I use for the greenhouse. We don't have a branched water supply. It means we all have the cleanest water outside of any vault, but it also means we draw from the same reserve. You're going to have to use bottled soda instead of the soda fountain, and stop other business. We can't spare water to wash dishes or prep food. The problem is the entire East Wall complex uses between 30 and 40,000 liters of water a day, more during a heat wave. My greenhouse uses about 80% of that. Textile uses 10%, and the remainder is for the diner and the rest of the Bleachers and Sheriff's Department.
Shit, that's a lot of water. I had no idea, Bob. I can scale back operation and turn us back into a bottle soda shop until it's fixed, yeah. Keeping that greenhouse running is more important.
Thanks, DP. I'm going to cut back the vines today to save water for the cotton and crops. Removing as much gas exchange surface area from the greenhouse as possible can get us a few more days out of our supply. This isn't a problem that can't be fixed, but it's going to take industrial-scale chemical interventions, and it has to happen fast. Unfortunately, the treatment is at Mass Chem, and Lily...
Yeah, I'm not going back there.
That's right, you're not. We sent Crenshaw already. We need you for something else. The sheriff will explain.
We initially thought this was an inside job, as cistern security is so high. That didn't turn out to be the case. The card reader log shows Deputy Hewitt was the only one who accessed the cistern in the last 24 hours.
The scout that got killed by the gunners a couple months ago on the east side?
The same. We reported his death accurately, but withheld certain details from the report to aid in the investigation. Specifically, there were signs of torture on his body, and his badge and card were missing along with most of his other belongings. At the time, we attributed it to typical gunner greed. But now that his card has been used to access the cistern, we are suspecting something more. We're running on the assumption he was tortured into giving up intel about the department prior to being murdered and dumped. The easiest explanation after that would be they hired or threatened a Green Zone secure civilian into accessing the cistern with the card. Someone we know and see regularly. Someone who wouldn't attract attention wandering around right field by themselves.
The gunners, huh? You think they might still be a bit sore about, you know.
There wasn't any reason to suspect that had any involvement at the time of Hewitt's murder. As I said, just typical gunner greed. Circumstances are different now. So answering that part of the question is the second part of this mission. We know this. Hewitt was alive, confirmed by autopsy. And we never heard him radio for help. This was a well-planned abduction. He was also operating in the same area his body was found. So they likely were in the area long enough to gather intel for an effective abduction.
I don't get it. Where do I come in then?
Hewitt's body was found less than half a click from the residence of a farmer I'm told you are familiar with. The old man with the house overlooking the ruins of Fort Independence. I believe he was one of the first Atom Cat beneficiaries.
Oh yeah, Cooter. I know him. He's a good guy. We dropped one of those household fusion generators off for him a few years back. He likes to brew his own beer, you know? Grows his own grain for it, too. That reminds me. I gotta tell Babs about my suggestion for
Thank you, Lily. Talk to him. See if he knows anything about Hewitt's murder or the people who did it. This is strictly fact-finding. Understand? If he saw anything, they likely threatened him with death if he told anyone. So he may need to be bribed or threatened for the info. I don't need to tell you the doctor's greenhouse is the lifeblood of our entire operation. The water purifier, the food, the cotton. Without it, the entire effort withers and dies. Plain and simple. If that farmer knows anything, question him. Try to find out who did this and why they went after us.
You got it, Sheriff. We won't let you down.
One last thing, Lily.
Yeah?
Don't bite off more than you can chew. This is strictly a fact-finding mission.
Hey, it's me! I know my limits better than anyone.
Whitworth's. Home of the Whitworth Special.
Gary!
Yeah? Huh?
Yes?
Yes? Huh?
Lily, is that you? It's Cooter. Over here. Don't go in there. They'll kill you. Follow me.
Cooter? What's up? Hey, wait up. We're coming. Cooter? What the hell, man? What are you doing in here?
What am I doing in here? Why don't you ask that goddamn sheriff of yours? Going around starting shit with the gunners, poking hornets' nests.
Whoa, whoa, slow down. Start from the beginning. What's going on?
Gunners, Lily! Gunners been living in my house for 4 months now. They made me live in my tool shed, farm my crops, and give them the food. And it's all been a fucking get your scout. All the shit just to get one guy. That's how much trouble your sheriff hero's been starting.
Wait, you mean the gunners that took Hewitt are here? Right now? In your house?
That's the poor bastard's name, yeah. I'll never forget it. That's all he'd tell him. They tortured him, and he just kept repeating his name. He died for your sheriff's department. And now I'm living in a tool shed and shitting in a pot for them too.
Jeez, Cooter. I'm sorry. I had no idea.
Fuck your sorries, Lily. Why the hell you guys gotta go starting trouble and leaving us to clean up the mess?
Hey, no reason to keep chewing me out, Cooter. I ain't one of the department. And you know damn well the sheriff doesn't start shit. She finishes it. Diamond City would be Gunner City if it wasn't for her and Oaks. And the Gunners would have made slaves out of the half of us they didn't kill. She don't go picking fights, and you know it. But you can't expect us to roll over and take it. Not like you did here for 4 months, apparently.
Take it? I'm just an old man, Lily. There's a whole squad in my house. I ought to shoot you for saying shit like that.
Oh, you're gonna shoot me for calling you a pansy, but not a gunner for taking your house and turning you into a slave on your own land, tough guy?
Oh, I'll shoot you right in that big fucking mouth of yours.
Bring it, you old fart. I'll punch your goddamn head down into your chest cavity and level your house with you and the gunners inside.
Can we just go kill some gunners, please?
That's what I'm saying. I'm willing to go over there and get this walking piece of bleached Brahmin jerky his house back, and he's about to shoot me.
Is that so? Tell you what, you get my house back from me and I won't shoot you in that overactive mouth of yours. I'll even tell you what I heard those assholes talk about these past 4 months. Something tells me a sheriff wants to hear that.
And you stop blaming her for this. You know I'm right.
All right. Just get me my fucking house back.
It's a deal then, crazy old fool. Come on, let's go air out some assholes. Find out what we can before Cooter dies of old age.
Always a regular goddamn fucking comedian, Lily. Here's the key. Mouth.
You ever wonder what sort of flesh-eating bacteria grows in the pockets of pants that haven't been washed in 2 centuries? Where at?
Hold.
Yeah, sure. Order me around, why don't you? Look at this. Did these assholes really drink every last one of the beers? Seriously though, look around. These guys were the ones who took Hewitt? We might have some intel around here. Check out this terminal. These are the assholes who took Hewitt, all right. They planned this for months, and we're hours from bugging out of here. The entry mentions the Hub City operation you did for Oaks, which means Devola was in town for something larger. And these guys were working with Hub City and that squad in Vault 75, which means they were all a part of this larger operation. Hey, you know what I just thought of? Did you check for intel when you took out Devola?
What do we need intel for?
If you're the type of person who needs to ask that, then you're the type of person intel wouldn't help.
I was on the mushroom diet. I had no idea to look for intel.
Yeah, I'm still adjusting to that diet myself. The sheriff cut me out of the operations loop. Won't lie, it sucks not getting told what's going on.
Look at this goddamn mess! Those fucking gunners trashed my place! They drank all my beer, too! Why'd they have to drink all the beer?
Man, I'm really sorry they fucked your shit up, Cooter. I'll have Delano radio Zeke at the garage. They can come help you clean up. I'll even mention he needs to bring some beer with him. That sound good?
Well, it doesn't sound good, but it sounds better than where I was this morning when I woke up. So it'll do, little Lily. It'll do. I just want to sit on my porch, watch the ocean, and drink beer. Is that too much to ask?
That sounds like paradise, my friend. I'm gonna have to swing by on my next run and join you.
Listen, Lily. I wanted to apologize for yelling at you earlier about the sheriff. We all heard of her out here. We all know their camouflage. I wanted to tell you guys, but I just didn't feel safe. Those gunners kidnapped your friend, all right. I saw them set up the ambush point. I didn't see what they did to him, because they carted him off. But they dumped his body back where they found him.
It's okay. I understand what it's like to be alone. You're out here by yourself. I'm glad you're still alive for what it's worth, Cooter. Anything else you can tell us that was important?
Whenever they talked plans, it was pretty obvious they were reporting to some colonel. They never said his name, just called him the colonel. They sure went to a lot of trouble to get your guy quietly and alive. It took them a couple of months of just waiting and watching. I remember them talking about this colonel guy because 2 of them were bickering over who got to deliver the good news to him. They were supposed to get your guy talking and send the info to this colonel. After that, they just waited around for a while and drank all my beer.
You sure about that? Did they say where he was? Where they were taking their reports?
No, they never said where they'd go off to. And we live out here on a peninsula, so you always gotta walk west to get out of here first. But there's more, so shut up for a second, I'll get to it.
Sorry.
So just last week, I seen them dragging a settler and his daughter down here and rough them both up. They put a gun to her head and threatened to shoot her. They handed the father something and screamed to him, "Get it done!" The father came back yesterday, and they returned his daughter to him. I don't know what he was doing for them, but he didn't have no choice.
Guarantee it was whoever dumped this herbicide in the water supply. Gotta remind the sheriff he was forced before she finds out who it was. Anything else before we bounce out of here, Cooter?
Yeah, they had me slaving for 4 months, Lily. You tell the sheriff she's got a hell of a blind spot in the way those patrols operate.
That's just it, Cooter. They're patrols, not frontline troops. They ain't got the manpower to defend the entire Commonwealth.
I ain't talking about a bodyguard, Lily. I mean her scouts ain't never stopped to say hi to anyone who didn't have something to trade. All Hewitt had to do was ask one of the other local settlers, and he would have heard all about how the gunners were watching him. Now he's dead.
Gee, I see what you mean about that, Cooter. You make a really good point. I'm gonna have to talk to the sheriff and Crenshaw about that.
The only thing better than a beer on the deck is a beer on the deck with a buddy. You tell the other scouts I said that.
I will. Who knows? Maybe they can bring some oranges with them for you.
Some orange what?
Oranges? They're fruit.
Orange fruit? What kind?
Orange... You know what? Never mind. You'll be seeing one of them scouts in a few days. Try not to shoot him, okay?
Wouldn't dream of it, little Lily. I'll be here. I've always been here.
I grabbed a holotape of this asshole's journal. We gotta get it to the sheriff. But I got a sneaking suspicion this all has something to do with events in the past coming back to bite us in the ass. Let's stop by Hub City on the way back. See if we can find any intel where you iced Evola. Try to tie this all together. You got a lot to learn if you planned on being a scabber.
buy me some jet. Then I can use the site to help you.
What's so important?
What right in this?
Not supposed to talk to people I don't know.
Nice night, huh?
Yes?
We're having a sale on broom.
I'll take a look, sure.
Anything and it.
I can't tell you how many times Percy saved my ass by being open at night. I don't think I'd have half my motorcycle done without him. Free advice? You ever got a medical issue? Go to Gary. He's the real deal. Training and all. Surgery center's just a bunch of butchers.